Zinedine Zidane's rise to extraordinary wealth is inseparable from the values that defined his football career: precision, patience, and an instinctive understanding of timing. Unlike many modern superstars whose fortunes are built in an era of explosive commercialization, Zidane's financial journey began in a period when football was only starting to recognize its global economic potential. His early professional years laid a disciplined foundation, but it was his move to Juventus that marked the first major turning point, both sporting and financial. At Juventus, Zidane established himself not just as a world-class midfielder, but as a global figure whose influence extended beyond the pitch. That influence reached a new level with his historic transfer to Real Madrid, a move that symbolized football's transition into a new commercial era. The record-breaking fee was not simply a reflection of talent, but of trust. Trust in Zidane's ability to carry identity, expectation, and global attention with composure. During his playing career, his earnings were significant, yet what truly distinguished Zidane was the way he protected and elevated his reputation. Calm under pressure, respectful in victory, restrained in public life, he cultivated an image that brands found enduring rather than fleeting. Endorsement deals followed not in waves, but in long arcs, partnerships built on credibility and longevity rather than spectacle. When Zidane retired from playing, his earning power did not diminish, it transformed. His transition into coaching, particularly at Real Madrid, became one of the most successful managerial chapters in football history. Trophy after trophy reinforced not only sporting dominance, but financial value, positioning Zidane among the highest-paid managers in the world and strengthening his long-term brand equity. These years quietly compounded his wealth, adding bonuses, long-term contracts, and global relevance to an already strong foundation. Yet throughout this accumulation, Zidane's lifestyle remained notably restrained. He did not chase visibility, nor did he indulge in public displays of excess. Instead, his wealth found expression in privacy, security, and control, qualities most clearly embodied in his luxury Madrid estate. Located in one of the city's most exclusive residential areas, the estate is less a showcase and more a sanctuary. Its design emphasizes clean architecture, open space, and discretion, reflecting a preference for calm and structure over ornamentation. The property offers seclusion from public attention, surrounded by controlled boundaries that allow Zidane to separate personal life from global recognition. Inside, the estate balances modern luxury with functionality, prioritizing natural light, expansive living areas, and an atmosphere designed for reflection rather than display. Wellness and training spaces echo a lifelong commitment to discipline, reinforcing the idea that routine and structure did not end with retirement. The estate is not built to impress outsiders, but to support a way of life shaped by focus and balance. Financially, Zidane's wealth today is diversified across decades of elite football earnings, long-standing endorsement agreements, managerial success, and strategic property investments. This diversification provides independence, allowing him to remain selective about future roles and opportunities. Unlike figures driven by constant reinvention, Zidane's approach is defined by restraint, choosing relevance over saturation and legacy over immediacy. His Madrid estate stands as a physical extension of this philosophy, powerful not because it is extravagant, but because it is controlled, intentional, and enduring. In a football world increasingly defined by noise and rapid fluctuation, Zidane's financial story offers a contrasting lesson: that true wealth is built not through constant expansion, but through consistency, credibility, and timing. His fortune reflects decades of disciplined excellence, and his lifestyle reflects a man who understands that power, when fully realized, rarely needs to announce itself. As Zinedine Zidane stepped further away from the touchline, his relationship with wealth evolved once again. No longer defined by contracts or trophies, his financial strength began to reflect something far more enduring: selective influence. Zidane never positioned himself as a public businessman, yet his decisions reveal a sharp understanding of value. Brands continued to seek his endorsement not because he chased visibility, but because his absence from noise made his presence more meaningful. Partnerships with global companies endured over decades, built on trust, stability, and an image untouched by scandal. In a market driven by constant reinvention, Zidane became rare, a figure whose credibility only increased with time. This long-term relevance translated into sustained income streams that required little public engagement, reinforcing his preference for privacy and control. Beyond endorsements, Zidane's financial strategy showed a quiet sophistication. Property investments, particularly in Spain and France, provided tangible assets that mirrored his values: security, permanence, and discretion. These investments were never speculative or headline-driven. They were carefully chosen, long-term holdings that matured steadily, much like his football career. His Madrid estate, often described as luxurious, is better understood as intentional. Every aspect of the property reflects balance, from its architecture to its location. It is positioned away from spectacle, yet close to the institutions that shaped his life. This duality defines Zidane's relationship with power: near but never consumed by it. Inside the estate, luxury exists not as excess, but as function. Training facilities, recovery spaces, and private gardens suggest a life still structured by discipline. Zidane's routine did not dissolve with retirement, it transformed. This continuity is key to understanding how his wealth supports, rather than defines, his identity. Financial independence allows Zidane to choose silence when others seek attention, and selectivity when others pursue volume. His rare public appearances carry weight precisely because they are infrequent. When Zidane speaks, it is measured. When he appears, it is purposeful. This restraint has preserved his global standing, making him timeless rather than trend-bound. Economically, this positioning is powerful. His name remains relevant across generations, allowing his wealth to remain resilient even as football's commercial landscape shifts. While modern stars monetize every moment, Zidane's legacy operates differently. His value is cumulative, built over time, reinforced by history, and protected by distance. This distance is not isolation, it is sovereignty. Zidane controls his narrative, his engagements, and his future. The Madrid estate symbolizes this control more than any public figure ever could. It is a space where family, reflection, and privacy take precedence over status. The estate's understated design reflects Zidane's belief that true strength is quiet. This philosophy extends beyond architecture into lifestyle. Cars, travel, and leisure exist in his life, but never dominate it. They are enjoyed privately, without exhibition. For Zidane, wealth is not a performance, it is a tool. It provides stability, autonomy, and the freedom to live according to principle rather than pressure. This approach has ensured that his fortune continues to grow without eroding the integrity that created it. Zidane's financial story is often misunderstood because it lacks spectacle. There are no viral displays, no constant reinvention, no public declarations of success. Yet behind the scenes, his economic footprint is formidable. Decades of elite earnings, compounded by managerial success, long-standing partnerships, and intelligent investments, have placed him among football's most financially secure figures. More importantly, this security has allowed Zidane to remain authentic. He has never needed to compromise his identity for relevance or income. His legacy, therefore, exists on two parallel planes. On one, he is remembered as a footballing genius, a player and coach whose moments shaped history. On the other, he stands as an example of restraint in an age of excess. His wealth is not louder than his legacy, it supports it. As time moves forward, Zidane's influence shows no sign of fading. Younger generations discover his brilliance through footage and stories, while older fans remember the calm authority with which he dominated the biggest stages. This intergenerational relevance ensures that his name, and by extension his financial legacy, remains intact. The Madrid estate stands quietly in the background of this story, not as a monument to success, but as a testament to balance. It represents a life built with intention, a fortune shaped by discipline, and a legacy protected by humility. In the end, Zinedine Zidane's wealth is not defined by numbers alone. It is defined by how little it has changed him. In a world obsessed with visibility, his greatest luxury has been the freedom to remain himself, composed, private, and in complete control of his own time.